But really make sure you get, like, really zapped. Get zapped, right? Get zapped into laughter.
Welcome back, fellas, to another dive into the wrong side of Instagram.
Don't put that thing over my face.
Today's subject is a fella by the name of the Party Scientist. He is a man dedicated to spreading joy and is a proclaimed expert on the science of human connection and joy.
Interlinked. What's it like to hold the hand of someone you love? Interlinked.
Whatever the fuck that means. He does corporate events, music festivals, funerals, and a little side project called Joy Camp.
And then, like, be a zombie, and then you go...
I'm the Party Scientist, and my greatest gift to the world is Joy Camp.
Truly his pride and joy. Today, we will be looking into each of these facets of the man, the myth, the legend, Jack the Party Scientist. Jack is quite the interesting character. His whole personality is acting like a drug addict while not being on any drugs, to show that happiness can be achieved without railing lines off of a hooker's ass. However, most of the time he comes off as being just cringe.
How's it going? It's the Party Scientist.
Truly a cardinal sin. I mean, he is a millennial after all, so how can he not be?
33, 35, 35, 35, 38, 39, 40. Elder millennial. Elder millennial.
To me, he comes off as someone that wants to be the center of attention, and he's kind of figured out a way to get around being labeled an attention whore by being this figurehead of joy. I mean, come on, fellas. He said it himself. Don't look into it any further. Other than being a public nuisance, crashing people's parties, ruining people's vacations to the beach, or causing a disturbance in the projects.
So I'm gonna need everybody to calm down and pay the fucking attention, alright?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
He leads the occasional corporate retreat. Where he spreads joy to the people that need it the most. Desk jockeys and higher-ups in big corporations. Corporations such as Lush, Lululemon, whatever that is, BMO, and Google. He teaches these folks to lead and spread joy within their companies, which I wish there were more of him, because every time I go to HR, it always ends the same way.
As you may have heard over the past few months, we've been working to transform some areas of the firm, and we want to align our workforce to accelerate our business strategy, all right? And as a consulting firm, it's important for us to remain competitive and position ourselves for the future, right? And this exercise the firm is currently going through involves a lot of moving talent and skill sets to the right areas where we require the most. Okay, this is causing us to make a lot of tough decisions that are impacting our workforce. All right, and unfortunately, after careful consideration, as a result, your position with the firm has been eliminated. Okay?
I become the fired, the unemployed, the raped. To me, this is fine. I say take the corporations for all they have. In fact, I think you need to up those numbers, buddy. You are not doing enough scamming, allegedly, of course, when it comes to these companies. The corporate stuff is a bit dry, you know, it's just a bunch of HR people, you know, doing their little thing, going to their corporate lunch and their meals and stuff. That way, when they need to cut a single mother of three's job to save the corporation a few bucks, they can do it with a smile on their face. But yeah, there isn't much to say about the corporation stuff. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was an interesting comparison to the main point of the video that this is about, which is him being, you know, an alleged cult leader. Allegedly. He just kind of goes and does the whole motivational speaker talk. I was broke, living in my car, sucking cock under the fucking overpass to make ends meet, basically. And then I turned my life around, I got off of that hard shit, and now I'm making real money telling people how to be happy. So let's move on to the juicy stuff.
And that might be a zombie, and then you go... I'm the party scientist, and my greatest gift to the world is Joy Cannon. A phone-free, drug-free, social norm-defying retreat where you learn to create joy like a confetti cannon for yourself and for the people you care about. This is your daily routine while you live and play in the Joy Camp mansion.
You're hit with a sickening feeling right off the bat. Besides the heavy dose of millennial humor, you see a bunch of middle-aged adults dogpiling on a bed, pillow fighting, playing with Nerf guns, and worst and most unsettling of all, having fun. You think to yourself, well, that's weird. That's a weird thing to record and put on the internet for other people to see, but it's not like it's a cult or something. To that I say, I'm kind of undecided. It teeters on just being cringe and being a little malicious. On one hand, Jack is doing what he does best, being an insufferable fat.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
But on the other hand, he is charging you 1,000 USD per person for 5 nights. And honestly, besides the cringe shit, the little mini games he likes to play with the folks, a personal trainer could probably do that for half the price for a whole month. Because aside from the extracurriculars, he wakes you up early in the morning, dressed up as a fucking unicorn.
6 a.m. you're woken up by the sound of a squeaky chicken or perhaps a unicorn.
You called me a monster, a mistake, but I was made this way, stitched by cowards, cursed by kings, abandoned in the dark, and yet here I stand, unbroken, unforgiving. I am not your nightmare, I am your consequence. You built me with fear, now I return it tenfold.
Makes you work out, not be on your phone, eat healthy, and meditate. Oh my god, sounds like a living hell to me, folks. I'd be seizing up on the floor 20 minutes in. I would need a Baconator from Wendy's stacked to pull me out of that coma. And not to mention the inner workings of something like this. The behind the scenes stuff, you know? When's the documentary dropping? When are we coming across the bodies? When are you going to prison? So let's tackle the cringe shit first. Random equals funny. A story as old as 2011. That was the before times on the internet when, you know, ha ha ha, cat has cheeseburger, and then somehow, okay, now hear me out. You see now humor has went in a complete 360 and now we're back to the random shit. It's very strange, but, you know, there is still some difference between millennials and Gen Z or Zoomers or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
What do you think she's gonna play next, Dad?
I don't know, but if it's Edge of 17, back up. I need some twirling roll. Oh, this is it. Back up.
My name is Retep, and I hate
Pool noodle battles, oven mitt scrambles, improv, and probably the worst of all, twerk tag.
There's pure organized chaos. Pool noodle battles, twerk tag, oven mitt scrambles, improv, and games so absurd they haven't been invented yet. You don't just play, you transcend reality.
all of it is so over the top, it could make a man sick. What does this actually do? 5 nights is a drop in the bucket, okay? Because you know that next day, after those 5 nights in a mega mansion, you know that they are back in their dog shit lives, living the same miserable existence. It's basically an expensive vacation. $1,000 per person seems like a pretty good vacation. I could do a lot with $1,000 on vacation, right? I'm just gonna say it. Not to mention the travel, because he lives in Canada or whatever. 1,000 likes and I'll go to the next Joy camp and record it. But the only thing that changed in those 5 days is that you're a little more cringe and a lot more gay. So, what about the malicious part? Jack insists that there are no drugs, no phones, this is not a cult, and most importantly of all, nothing sexual is occurring. Everything is strictly platonic.
Our partnership in the squad is like totally platonic. It's not sexual in any way.
Unrivaled! Yet so many things are sexual in the camp. And I know if you were to confront Jack about this, he would just say, it's just expressing yourself. It's not sexual, bro. But what I would counter with is that if you're rubbing that sweet pussy on me, I'm liable to become full mast. So, for your viewing pleasure, I have compiled some scenes of Jack and his followers shaking their asses, humping, or sensually massaging each other.
It's the Party Scientists. Let's break down the science. First thing is, the music is facilitating the goofiness. The music is the perfect context that is activating the brain circuits, that is activating the twerk out, yo! So, how do we do this? We put on goofy music, we interact with the deep circuits in the brain. Second thing is, someone is leading this experience and someone with courage, okay? We gotta do the inner...
Alright, now everybody find some wood. Put your hands on the wood. And just shake it.
It's time to chill. You have free time to hot tub under the stars, exchange heartfelt shoulder rubs.
Cool fucking tree. Sweet tree, mate.
Why don't you go ahead and investigate that fella humping the tree? Because if that tree wasn't between you, you'd be getting dick down long stroke style. To me, it seems pretty cut and dry, folks. One day, the documentary will come out about all the shady shit Jack did and how his cult have all unalived themselves. But maybe I'm being too hard on him. I am just a dumbass American, by the way. Luckily enough for me, he made a specific video about why I, as a retarded American, think this is in fact a cult, not just a fun joy camp, as it were. Why don't you explain to me why I think this way?
You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Number 1. Success in Western culture is about self, not community. Well, Jack, I thought we were talking about America, not Western culture, because I know this might hurt to hear this, but it's not like Canada is too far away from America. It also seems like you're trying to make individual success not as important. Like you would want people to share their success with you and their community and kind of hold the same values and think the same way as you. Which honestly, it makes you one of two things. Either you're a commie or you're a cult leader.
And just so you're aware, we're also gonna...
Number 2, Americans spend so much time on screens, they've forgotten what true community looks like. Actually, Jack, I took about 2 minutes out of my day and looked this up, and actually, Americans only spend about 20 more minutes per day looking at screens than Canadians do. Again, took me about 2 minutes. You're a fucking retard. Just use Google, buddy.
We're becoming a unit of 7 pounds.
Number 3. Americans have been taught to anticipate greed and selfish motives from everyone. Better to be skeptical than to fall for some bullshit like this. That's what I say. I think you see an untapped market. Calling people out like this might get them to loosen up a bit. Just loosen up. Biggest country in the world. I'm a really nice guy, you know? You can trust me. Typical cult leader behavior. Number 4. Sober joy triggers people who rely on crutches. Most Americans. I have to say, 100,000 people is a lot less to us than it is to Canada, considering we have a population of a little over 8 times the size. Number 5. Most Americans are not healthy. They're allergic to health retreats. I'm guessing you're talking about obesity here. There is a decent gap, you know, between our countries on that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. So that's score 1, Jack. That's 1 out of your 5 points that actually made any sort of sense. And by my calculations, that means you fail, little nigga. And for your crime of being a retard, I, Blub, of the United Federations of Schizogram, sentence you to punishment. What is the punishment, I hear you ask? Well, I sentence you to live among the most nasty, vile, stinky people on this planet. That's right, Indians. But you are already living that fate, aren't you, Jack? I hereby declare your final resting place, where you will live until death. Canada. Or, as I shall now rename it, with the power invested in me, India 2. Goodbye, Jack. I will see your body floating in the River Mackenzie one day. Or should I say, the River Ganges too.